poet reading original work based on the current exhibition, now on view, Coffee, Rum, Sugar and Gold, A Post-Colonial Paradox. It's an exhibition that looks at the legacy of colonialism through the work of 10 contemporary artists. The series will conclude on Thursday, August 8th with a group reading of all the poets, a reception from 6 to 8 p.m. So come back every week, but definitely come back on Thursday, August 8th. Community Voices Poets Speak is curated by Rena J. Leone. It's presented in partnership with Small Press Distribution and is made possible in part by poets and writers. Rena, do you want to say anything?
Yes, I'm going to give a feather to a baby. So it is a joy, it is an absolute joy to be a part of this series. And I have been, every time I get to talk, like, near jumping up and losing my bodily sense because I'm so excited about it. So I'm so excited that Thea is a part of this. And I prepare to be shaken, no? And changed, and walking in the world with a different vibration and energy after this. Like, because every time I hear her, it's like that. It's like that. So it's an honor to be in some relation to that. So, yeah.
No pressure, no expectation.
Low quality.
Yeah.
Lower everyone's expectations. Just kidding. So today we're thrilled to be presenting Thea Matthews. She's a poet, scholar, and activist born and raised in San Francisco, California.
Yeah.
No? Okay. I'll choose a sentence or two. She writes on the complexities of humanity, resiliency, and ultimately the triumph over trauma, and is currently finishing her debut collection of poetry. She's a seasoned performer and has delivered her poetry at various curated readings and literary festivals. And we're so lucky to have her here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Moad, Rena, for inviting me on board for this series. It is an absolute honor and gift to be among such amazing, prolific writers and to experiment and tap more into what does it mean to write from what I see, from what I experience. Ekphrastic writing is specifically that intention of writing to visual installations, paintings, where the visual and literary arts intersect. And so, yes, I've done some writing, works in progress. What I'm thinking is that so I wrote 7 tankas, been experimenting with form, and more so syllabic verse, where I really count my syllables and kind of much more intentional with that. And a tanka is 5, 7, 5, 7, 7. So like 5 syllables, 1 line, 7 syllables, next line, and so forth. And it's a quintet, so like 5 lines. So I wrote 7 of those. 7's a good number. 7's the number of Yamaya, Oshun of the ocean, right? Orisha of the ocean. That's what I meant to say. And the water, for me, plays a huge part in the travel and tragedy of colonialism. And so tapping into that, wrote my first duplex poem, where that was started by poet Jericho Brown, where he basically gutted the sonnet and the ghazal, and like it's 7 couplets, and each line builds off of each other. There's like a somewhat of repetition, and the first line is the same as the last line. So then just experimenting, playing with words. And I have some poems that I would like to deliver from this chapbook that recently came out through the Alley Cat residency. And then some poems from my debut collection. How do y'all feel though? Do you want to like have some time for dialogue? Where there's question, like Q&A? Or are you feeling like more you just want to listen?
Usually have Q&A at the end, but if you want to do it in interspersed, that's fine too.
Okay, yeah. Also too, if you just like have a comment, like please feel free to like raise your hand or like make some eye contact, raise a finger. I will pause and we can talk. So And I chose to sit behind or in front of this piece for a reason. This is really where I wrote and experimented with this duplex poem format. And so yeah, again, works in progress, please. You should. Red bodies hide in gumbo limbo trees, and wild berries of the Caribbean demands to extract, rape the Caribbean. Chain crosses once unknown to red children. Chain crosses once unknown to red children. Dress them in white. With gold sprayed on their feet, they watch their legs dangle. Bullets miss their feet. Yet they bleed profusely, hence we call them red. They mourn their land in motherless red, in fatherless brown, in godless black. Their eyes surrender to the godless black, to the lost trinity in holy bellies, to the pearls draped over white dresses, over red bellies. Red bodies hide in gumbo limbo trees. And I had to look at, like, okay, trees in the Caribbean, and I was like, I'll just go with that. But yeah, there's just so much. I incorporated this painting and the one next into one poem. And then these are the encrusted tonkas that I was talking about. Sparkle, rum, sugar, and gold. Shower me west, east, chain cotton, wooden floors, bloodstained cries to mother. I see her, only at sea. To her, to mother, one who cannot scream, giving birth, her tongue severed, she carries forgotten dead, primed, packaged, ready to sell. Water kept rising. We had nowhere to go, trapped in chains. We watched the sugar flee to the top of the ship where coffee hid the torture. Sky scrapes sand on my wooden floors. I see sun peek through stained glass windows, behind blushing rivers of indigo, coral, purple. Rivers in my eyes bead a smothering necklace. Deserted pearls taste the hollow shells in my ears. Can you hear? Children drowning. Clouds overpass ships in a quick flash, in a day, by a click of a finger. One still can take what is stolen, commodified. Clouds carry their own cargo, their own weight of tears, trapped indoors with racks full of secrets, full of rum, immune to drones, bullet spray. In water. Wade in water, in the murky terrains of your mind. You will find me there, home, where seashells roam with living bodies, where little girls fly free in flight. I will be here, waiting to hold you, remind you of your freedom. Your blue, black, running through, open like a wild Mustang, roaming triumphantly. You dig deep, find me. Don't give up no matter what you see, feel, hear in this ocean of rumination, of emotion, of force that lies shoved into your mouth. You spit it out now. Denounce untruth. Believe Believe there is another way. Talk, chew, follow, take, box, package, sell, rape, swallow, kill, dream, hollow, sleep, lie, dispose, come, leave, repeat, talk, chew, follow, take, box, package, sell, rape, swallow, kill, dream, hollow, sleep, lie, dispose, come, leave, repeat, talk, chew, follow, take, box, package, sell, rape, swallow, kill, dream, hollow, sleep, lie, dispose, come, leave. A post-colonial paradox. Now, stand by us. Stand with us. Be here now. Do you believe? Are you willing to believe in a power greater than what they told you? What you told yourself for years? A lifetime of suppressed tears, shoved as fat on top of weak muscle. Stretched skin moves silently between sheets of sediment near worn ocean cliffs. Let go. Jump. You have the power within your blood, your skin, your hair. Prayers swallow rocks, while waves watch rays of light. Catch your screams, hold you until you release what you held so tight, what weighed you down. Come, stand with us. Be free now. So a lot of these works in progress poems go into what does it mean? What is a post-colonial paradox? How is it still present today? The ideology and the mentality, what is colonialist thinking? That's another thing I was reflecting upon. When I went to Standing Rock a few years ago, there was discussion. Part of my volunteer service was facilitating orientations for folks coming in. And they talked about decolonizing your thinking. Pictures, even just taking a picture, you're taking, why did he, this is not a picture right here, coming to the res, stepping foot on Standing Rock. This is not like your vacation at Coachella. And so something so simple, right? And then obvious to some, not so obvious to others. And then also too, the extraction, the abusing resources. How easy and quick it is to claim mine when it already belonged to someone else's. And so being just aware of that, and then also tying in history of chained bodies and ships shoved in the bottom. And so played around with that type of imagery. Any questions so far? Still present? Still with me? Okay, let's go. So this book, Grim Grime, work in progress. It's been published, but there's poems to add, and for me to send off to some folks. But what is in here so far is, again, writing what I see, what I've experienced, what I've observed, and I've dedicated this book for the living and dead of San Francisco. As said, I'm born and raised here, and just the experiences of, it's one angle. It's not all of San Francisco in this book, but it's definitely an angle I took. So I'll read a few poems from this. Right here, just the grim grime under my nails, the burnt taste buds from smoking too many cigarettes, the fatigue of a tired spirit, the hopeless pupil in my eye, strained from crying. Nothing good here, just the grim grime of another day, lost in the city, waking up on split floors, wondering, how did I get here? the air of a desert. These streets, dry like a razor on skin cold, unwanted from the womb. Bodies occupy each corner. Old bums, young junkies stick out their tongues. The hot pandering of sick desires loosens teeth. I wish I could yell inside their gums. Chip teeth on frozen water. Their clouds chase a one-time rapture. The smoke to escape from the mundane melancholy haunts even the trees in a relentless storm. Life is reduced to skin scraped on gravel. Children silent, my rib cage dismantled, each bone ripped apart to sell for dough. In each valve of my heart, ghosts blow bubbles in. Yet I follow my breath. I exhale those who survived, those who died, those who chose not to heal, thrive, instead kill. Pigeons die, mice roam, rats cross corners, switch to another side of the street. No one's perfect, he said. With a dagger on his right side and an inebriated smile, a suffocating stench of powerlessness shoved me to a corner of the train. I wanted out, so I left, told him this was my stop, and walked for 12 blocks only to find myself, days later, holding the same stench of powerlessness over memory, breathing through a mundane hour of existence with a desperate desire to control the universe, control my city. This city breathes the ashes of paradise, wealth and solace from city life. The breath, a birthright, becomes a luxury, like access to clean water. The war for higher wages, wages on, herds laugh and mingle, act as if nothing is happening. California burns your money, your cars, your houses, your acres, and no one escapes from the blaze of dollar bills. You cough up the change. In the TL, we walk around gutless to live. Smoke on fire escapes, dangle off apartment buildings under a neon-lit sky. We toss a slurred hello to dealers passing by. And if their eyes tell us they are holding, we follow them. We stagger, cop dope to fire exits, to the alley in the back, to the bar with cheap drinks sour with whiskey, and off we go into the gyrate gutter of dull walls, cockroach-infested bedrooms. We burn our lips on hot glass, turn our bodies into an open vacancy for the deranged, spirits desperate for a room. We die hidden. And then one more for this one. With gangrene. A thin body, the city with gangrene. The slow decay, the decomposition, the welfare line skyscraper benumbs limbs, the localized death, discoloration of smooth skin once golden, brown, ebony, of apartments once home to the blue blood, of neighborhood shops, food spots once thriving, of streets once filled with humbled families, of playgrounds once held by immigrant laughs, worn-in Payless shoes, neon ball scrunchies, heralds new money, a smeared one-tongue laugh, same look, each district hides the methadone clinic. The elder flirting with a child, the drunk activist who raped a woman, the politician guilty of deceit, the police force warped, guilty of murder. A Confederate soldier boards the bus with a bouquet of funeral flowers to the commodified debauchery of the beatnik, the hipster, the hippie, the yuppie, the millennial hipster, the techie, the apathetic one who moved in from the middle of nowhere, or some other city, now strolling, now sipping on $5 pour-overs, now in line midnight to pay for $15 burritos, not including chips. The latex no better than to suffrage costs for free, they charge triple. The forlorn snatch duffel bags, sell electronics on streets, steal car registration tags, and smash windows to find their next fix. A city of haves and have-nots, stands, struggles, divided. Urine-stained blue hospital pants, trudges concrete. Worn jeans laughs to himself on the bus. And animal-shaped hair barrettes on tightly greased scalps are found nowhere for blocks. The new metropolitan dissonance. The elders in canes struggle to walk and hold their groceries. The town's negligence scrapes the bottom for leftovers, shoved in boxes near gutters, near brands, near five-star trendy restaurants where heels and speed mix in a martini glass. For those who want to call this city your home, make sure you are the vertebrae connected to the willful spine, enduring the obstructed circulation. Make sure you are the dirt, flowers who see the wings of hummingbirds, the Samaritan who feeds the hungry, who knows, who hears the tears of the underclass, with no butlers, no paid assistance. If not, then you are a digit dismembered. How am I doing on time?
You're good. Just keep going.
So yeah, I'm working on this first full-length collection of poems titled Unearthed Flowers. It came when I was attending UC Berkeley, when I was part of the Poetry for the People program. And that program was started by the legendary one and only Jordan, who passed away in the early 2000s. But my God, her legacy lives, and I'm just so grateful for that program. And so yeah, the seeds were planted there, it grew, and so here it is, and now it's just a matter of it getting picked up, working, and all that stuff. So here we go. So I have a few poems, this, and they're all titled after a flower. And it's where I incorporate lived experience with the language of flowers. So each flower actually has a meaning. Each flower has a language. Like there's a reason why you have carnations at funerals. Like, and also looking at the history too. Actually, carnations ironically didn't even make it into this manuscript. But there's you'll see, or maybe you won't. But here's some poems. Indigo. Open, I baptize you. In the wild blue gold, the pliable weed-like flowers. Your body, saturated in the granules of lapis lazuli, sprouts from tears copulating with cash crops, the edible gold and blue dead. Armies of unknown rebels, too black to ever be burned at the stake, gamble in the rings of your eyes. You, my beloved, are to be cherished. Your curls are yours, not for porcelain heads or zookeeper fingers. Your skin cannot be worn by bronze sunspots and soft credit cards. Your lips are the softest, chewable rims, sucking the seeds of terracotta sunsets. And your feet follow the rhythm earth will move to rip the renewal from urban on red soil. Clematis. You found me at the bottom of the Pacific, quiet and still. Whales preserved my amethyst light to glow in. The dark, despite floating dreams I failed to live in. I jumped to live. I know why smiles stroll. I was told rib cages break when grasping their last breath. Deflated from collapsed lungs, overwhelmed with grief, I stopped here. Seaside daisy. Not everyone swims the depth I swim. Faces appear, disappear, then reappear on oil-stained streets. And for once, I would like to go a week without thinking of him. His death haunts me, like a relentless weed who grows all year round, occupies the soil and the sit-in, defies time, protests the seasons, calls my name to the shore I once called body. Waves wash over me. I am home, eyes open, body ablimp, blood purified. Waves dissolve memories, the names we print on sand. I swore his fingers would grow old with the silver strands of his hair, but they will not. He left before me. Marigold. Eyes of the sun stare outside a bus window. A crackhead father dangles cheap rocks in one hand and clenches a disposable lighter, the only fire he feels in another. Marigold, with torn ruffles, extends her arms, stretches her fingers. She emanates sapphire rays of brazen orange and yellow for the lost, resistant, spirits who only recognize her in darkness. They see their lantern through timeless fog, cigarette smoke, shots of tequila. Marigold sees her father. His spirit floats, but the orange sun still loves him, tries to guide his spirit to the light. The crack vanishes, but he refuses to rest by his altar. Marigold now sees her mother, a single mother, wobbling down dirty city streets past forgotten altars, sacrificing last pennies on Catholic uniforms. Back and knees sore from carrying groceries, ruptured relationships, a hernia from carrying a stroller up 3 flights of stairs each day for another fatherless baby. Stubborn blood stands against chimes warbling on wintry windy nights. She is the wild bull in flame who does not bleed. Her weight marks her endurance, a path she leads. Her fat and hair mark her protection. When she fights to kill. She is the one alive who reminds Marigold everything can be healed. And I have one more. I'll close with fuchsia. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Believe me, my cracked lips and stained tongue, a burning stomach and a no backbone bedroom, do not deter the swift flight of endurance, the remembrance of sweetness, of survival. Hummingbirds came once I tasted my tears, yet sometimes I still close my eyes to the sun. I see the glaring red of my forward skin, swollen inside, irritated, infected from pesticides, the warmth of invasion of his cold fingers inside. I cry, growl, slice arteries with teeth. I wrestle with the treachery of men until I twirl prayers into beads of nectar, break the hex of hatred, ground the betrayal into fertile land. I growl from the whispers of shh, don't tell nobody. Fingers over lips. Today my mouth, like legs, rests wide open. Believe me, he knew someone would. Thank you. Are there any questions? Comments?
I'm a native San Franciscan as well, so I heard the neighborhoods, I heard the Mission District, I heard the Tenderloin, I heard the Western Addition, and I thank you. I mean, it's to have been born here and, you know, you leave and you come back, and you know what it was, and you know what you see now, and what was the phrase from the movie, The Last Man? You can't hate it unless you love it, and so I heard that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any responses or comments?
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate you all being here.
The flower poems, I heard you talk about survivorship with my students when you would just start finishing those poems. And I feel like just was listening to it tonight, and it was just really struck by, wow, this is a whole happy, and it offers, it's a tour de force of craft and poet, but it's also healing to read, so thank you. Or healing to you.
Yeah, thank you. There's a lot of, it's interesting because people are like, poetry is poetry, like, but there's something, I cannot deny the therapeutic quality that poetry provides. For me, writing is a form of medicine. I have to do a lot of work to write what came in the flower poems. Those were not like instances, like moments where I'm processing for the first time molestation, sexual violence, poverty, and addiction. No, like that, like I had to process that first and go through that journey. And writing about it is along the way, but it wasn't like a starting place. But yeah, there is healing. Like, you read a book, you're like, yeah, it's like, well, that's medicine, So thank you.
Thank you.
I really like how you captured what's going on in the streets here. And as somebody that came here in '68, came back in the '80s, I've seen a lot too, and like what was said earlier, really can't hate it unless you have fun. And it's interesting because my writing in my band has been, written about like beating movies and stuff, a little more fun. And it's like, this newer bunch of material that's coming out is focused on homelessness, mental illness, what's happening, all around us with the government. And you just can't turn a blind eye to it. It's all around us. And you're right, it's definitely able to write about it, at least letting out your emotions and your feelings. And it's good.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely, poetry is not where I escape. Like, it's like, my escapism is not to write. My escape, poetry, art is to have my eyes be peeled open. And to okay, what is this? What's happening? Coming to, basically. I appreciate though, I love the new worlds. I want to explore, this next writing project, I do want to explore more of a visionary aspect of putting hope onto the page. Okay, how to dream, what's next, how to envision a new world. So yeah, this chapter was okay, how dystopic can I be? How much can I capture that grim grime essence? Because there's some strong epidemics of houselessness and people are dropping off like flies. So yeah. Any more? What about you, extra credit, dude? What do you think?
It was good though.
Thank you. I'm going to do a great write-up and I hope you get this cool. Credit, sorry. What's up?
So the newer ones you were writing, where it was a lot of just
Yes.
where did that did that drop out of the sky, or was what was that because most of the stuff is narrative and descriptive and all this stuff, and there was this just idea, and it's really rhythmic. It was cool to be able to write it too, but
Yeah, thank you. This is what it looks like on the page.
yeah.
This is new, and it's okay, how to encapsulate a feeling with the rhythm, with the, I don't know, playing with syllables again. And so it's it's all 2, 2, 2, 2, but playing around with one syllable words, 2 1 syllable words, and then 1 2 syllable word.
Yeah.
And kind of pairing up these words of where they don't necessarily match. So it's like, how do we create the dissonance on paper, rhythmically? I don't know, trying to navigate a lot. I'm probably not doing much, like making much sense here trying to talk about it. But yes, this is like the newer stuff of like playing much more with like rhythm and tension. Yeah, thank you.
I have a question. I'm really interested in this alert or this focus, hyper-focus on the syllable, on the structure of different poems, whether it's a tanka, where it's a two, where it's a duplex, whatever. So where is this arising from within your work of like being hyper-focused on a particular form? And I'm also curious with this focus on poetic form and structures to use within your work. Are you starting to consider creating forms that you yourself might share with others, like a duplex, like a tanka or something like that? So,
Yeah.
Like Sonia Sanchez created the song "Ku," right, as an extension of the haiku, or Amiri Baraka the low ku as an extension of the haiku. So I'm curious if you're starting to think that way too.
Getting there. Oh, you see it right now. Oh gosh, yes. Okay, so I have really balked on form. Like kind of most like the fifth. I'm like, I just really had strong resistance to form, like Eurocentric, like traditional poetic form. I want, just being rebellious, like, and just like that angsty, like anarchist, like non-conformist, like no, I'm not gonna do form, and like I defy. I live in the free verse realm, and like form and like punk rock, anarchy on the page, and I come to realize a lot of that was just being in denial. Like form emerges whether I want to recognize it or not, and so as I learn and evolve as a writer, I'm coming to learn too the evolution of like responding with the poems. Like yes, there's like a free write, like form. I can't think of form first, or I cut myself short. But once I write and then I reflect and look back, I'm like, what form is already there? What syllables are naturally emerging? And this immersion to syllabic verse and utilizing these syllables in this way has been natural. It's like that's come much naturally to me. I almost had a nervous breakdown because I don't think I am a pentameter. And I was like, I'm not a true poet, am I? I don't write, I don't shit a sonnet, and I was like, oh my God, and so my ego, ooh, so humble. And so, so I was like, okay, well, what is there? Like how to still utilize form, and how, so like exploring other ways. Like I went the tanka route, I don't know, I just naturally gravitated to the tanka rather than haiku. I've written haikus in the past, but very much, I like the rhythm and how succinct these 5 lines are. And it's helped me too as I look back at like my first full length of like kind of like honing in more on like couplets and stanzas and sizes and shapes of the poem. And I don't know, it's just to be much more intentional with the craft and to experiment with form. There's this racist poet, I forgot her name, which is good. She's won all the awards, but she is really well known for syllabic verse, so I guess she shall not be named. Anyway. Yeah, she has some foul shit up in there. I was like, wow. Like straight up blatant racist towards black folks. However, she like drafts these like poems of like words like 3, 5, 7, 9, or like 1, 4, 5, 6. And like this playing with repetition with syllable. And so just, taking it like, okay, this is what your content, but what are you doing? I've learned from her, ironically. So we can learn from anyone. And but yeah, it's gonna be ongoing. And I'm hoping to develop more of this form to share with others. Yeah, that's long-winded.
I just want to say that I was really moved by the first head opening and responsive interaction with the piece behind you. And our Monroe, who made the pieces, very literary and really inspired by writing, and I think he would love to see that poem or hear that poem. So when you're at a point where you feel comfortable with it, I'd like to share it with him. That would be really good.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, and Jericho Brown is a Black queer, I want to say he's queer, but actually I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. I kind of got that. Thank you. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like gravitating more towards like, okay, what are poetic forms that are not by old white people? Like, I don't want to find, I don't. And so there's resistance I get to iron out by myself in my room. Right now it's public display. But yeah, just like non-Eurocentric. So Jericho Brown, duplex poem. I would probably like to write more because these pieces are just so much was coming, and yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. All right. Anybody else have any comments? Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.